All right, we're back with some more Legacy action, and this is a post-ban video that we've got here because there was a very recent ban at the beginning of the week that, you know, everybody that has been playing Legacy or following Legacy knows that the Fantastic Car was going to get banned. It was a Nadu situation of being extremely powerful to the point of going in almost every deck that could fit it. And there even was a post talking about the design mistake of Fantastic Car supposed to be 4 mana, and then it was 3 mana. So, you know, made sense. But let's get into this match here as we see the Necro Storm already doing the namesake of the deck. Here's 2 Lotus Petals into a Necro Dominance. Any responses? End step, I'll go to 1. I'm going to draw 19 cards here. Do we have what it takes to win on turn 1, our opponent's turn 0? This is exciting stuff here. So, this is the cool thing about Legacy is that you can do some weird, crazy stuff like this where players can sit here and just sort of make something happen out of nowhere. You see a lot of specific tools getting pulled aside here that are useful as well as ones that are not so useful. So this is like, all right, here's all my mana. How am I going to be able to go? Like, I like this. The Sultai Beans player is sitting here go like, all right, I'm going to take these cool Fantastic Cars, move them over there. I'd say cool because I was playing around with the paint with some old Thopters I had lying around to make the tokens, try to make it a little bit easier for players that were playing on camera. And nice we've seen this too before. Whenever a Storm player starts tracking, or the opponent starts tracking the Storm count, they know they're dead, right? It's like, all right, I'm at 4. All right, Storm count's 5. Storm count 6. You see this kind of going off here. Oh, this is, if you don't have a Force of Will, a Force of Negation, things like that, you can die on turn 0 against this deck. I played against this deck that week and died on turn 0. I'm not the Sultai Beans pilot for this, but I do think it's important to know, just, you don't know that going into it, right? Round 1 or like game 1 like this makes sense. You just go, okay, well, I've got a decent keepable hand. It's got some ways to do things. Maybe I don't have a force, but at least I've got a good way to progress my game plan. And now we see this is, all right, you're at 10. Here's the tendrils. You need to lose 20 life immediately there. So that, yeah, what is this? 2 minutes? 3 minute long game? Very, very quick there. We'll talk a little bit about the Sultai Beans player once we get out, past the sideboard action here. But yeah, definitely you know what you're up against. But now the Necro Storm doesn't. He doesn't know they're up against Sultai Beans here, which is a cool little nuance thing with that sideboard.
We're interrupting our gameplay to let you know about our new affiliate with Nerd Gear. nerdgear.gg/nanman will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay.
All right, was that the fastest commercial break we've had in a video there? Just a fast week of gameplay. We, of course, had Infect versus Grixis Death Shadow for our modern gameplay on Monday, because we do have modern gameplay every Monday. And Thursdays is our legacy content for you to be able to enjoy. But let's see. Ooh, some serum powders for Necro Storm. But yeah, all right, let's get into it. We wanted to talk about the Sultai Beans deck and what it's trying to do here in this post-board state. Oh, that's annoying. That's the, like, counters unless your opponent pays 1, right? Yeah, unless they pay 1. But Sultai Beans' idea is you're playing basically a Sultai pile value engine, right? Up the Beanstalk, of course, banned in Modern. It sort of took over with the kind of oh, wait a minute, hold on, Cabal Ritual. I like this trigger. This is the first spell, and it's like, no, that's only on you. Trying to go for turn 1 Necro Dominance. Force of Negation, fetching to pay the 1 off the channeler there. I like that we kept that on the battlefield there to help track it. Hey, this is, it's not going to be necessarily gotcha moment in that regard of like, no, I revealed this is still here. But Force of Negation, will be able to exile and get rid of the Necro Dominance there. In case there was some tools to be able to bring it back, you know, that is definitely a possibility. But yeah, so up the Beanstalk, we see the able to keep a much more reactive hand now. At this point, the Necro Storm player doesn't have a 100% confirmation what they're up against. You know, this could be a Dimir pile. This, you know, there's a lot of things that we could be able to see. Sort of a Dimir mid-rangey deck. It, you know, but nothing definitive at the moment. But the idea of it is you're trying to get up to the Beanstalk on the battlefield, casting your normal spells like Force of Will, like Murktide Reagent, things like that you can be able to just sort of draw extra cards off it and just sort of continue with your game plan. I was running one of Riddler in my list recently. You know, I also was running a Tassagar because Tassagar's sweet. But you know, you just sort of have these cards in here that normally cost 5 mana, like Murderous Cut, and just sort of like these weird nuance one of cards that you can run of to just sort of outvalue your opponent here and just draw the game out here. But there's Tamiyo coming down. We're gonna fetch in response. Going to be, it looks like, getting maybe a Ponder, maybe Brainstorm here. Basically, we're just trying to draw some extra cards here. Oh, revealing the green. So this is the first bit of reveal of what we're up against. And so now you kind of are going through. Oh, I like this. Check time.
He bought that off me. He also bought that off me. I don't think he bought that one off me.
No, sure did.
He might have.
No, actually, Johnny bought that off of you and gave it to me.
Nice. He's bought this off me.
No, got that in a secret lair.
I do have these. These all
Wait,
look,
you have these?
Yep. These all look legit.
I need these. I need more of these.
Get the jeweler's loop out. I know.
Go
I
ahead.
sold those to him.
Love that.
Also,
Of course, tournament organizer and the
I bought the expensive shit for this deck here.
That's what matters.
tournament organizer and the shop owner there coming over and just having a little fun with the players. You love to see it. But up the Beanstalk finally revealed here. And we have a conceding moment here because Necro Storm accidentally cheated.
I'd like to check to make sure my opponent's not playing with proxies. Okay. Check time. He bought that off me. He also bought that off.
Looking for more ways to help support the channel, you can check us out over at Patreon, patreon.com/TheRealNanMan, where you can get exclusive gameplay, podcasts, behind the scenes, and more. We do have 2 different types that you could pay for. Of course, our thank you tier at $3 and our Discord link for $5 that we'll have available soon. And you could just also join for free. Another way you could be able to help support out is becoming a super member on YouTube for $5 a month. You'll get exclusive badges and emojis that you could be able to use, as well as exclusive stuff just for our super members that is going to be very similar to what you get if you became a Patreon member. But let's jump back into the video. Yeah, good on our Storm player there for being like, yep, I totally messed up, made a mistake there. I thought you had finished or passed your turn, so I was basically taking my turn and drawing, and then got thrown off. You saw this. How did you cast that for Flash? What happened there? So yeah, definitely, you know, a little bit of fun banterness that happened, and then just kind of got lost in the sauce. But let's get into game 3. Everything's all tied up here. We see Gemstone, which is immediately going to get stripped away with a Wasteland. So trying to hope that your opponent is light on lands, which does happen when your opponent is sitting here and utilizing a lot of the ritual type effects, not only like Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual, but also like utilizing things like Simian Spirit Guides and Elvish Spirit Guides and ways to just sort of generate a lot of extra mana. They are lighter on lands there, but kind of land go. They were able to produce off that Valakut there to be able to, you know, at least get a land. Beans player is going to start setting themselves up here, hoping for a nice little setup, utilizing things like Brainstorm, Ponders, Tamiyo. They, you know, definitely some very powerful cards that you can be able to drop down early here. All right.
Or are you just going to win over the top of me surveilling?
Oh, I like this. Surveilling.
You have hands that do
What do we got to kind of fight over our opponent here? How are we trying to set ourselves up? We know there is this like, you know, impending doom is definitely looming right now in the way that this matchup is set up, but actually we don't need that other land. So 3 lands sitting in the graveyard here, which isn't that big a deal. Some of the Beans lists will run like the Life from the Loam or things like that they could be able to recur some wastelands or do things like that. All right, in the tank a little bit here. Like, our goal is to be able to just kind of start chaining with this Necro Storm. Our goal is to get the Necro in play, and looks like we're going to try to go for something here. Summoner's Pack looking for us to get a green card. There just happens to be one specific green creature we need, and that you see right there. The Elvis Spirit Guide that we were talking about, you can be able to exile it, just like you would with Simeon Spirit Guide, to be able to make a green mana. Very powerful effect. Not something that they're ever going to really complete the cycle for, I don't see. Maybe they do it for the white one. I don't know. Sultai Beans player again messing with their opponent. It's going to kind of filter through this. We're going to go for a Manamorphose here. Going to be able to make double... Right, we're going to filter this red and the green and turn it into double black here or something like that, most likely. Force of Will coming down. We'll drop down a life, try to fight over this. Another Summoner's Pack. Oh my gosh. All right, Wizard Battle taking place on the stack here, getting another Elvish Spirit Guide. What do we got here that can help us in this situation, though? The players are joking about, I'm going to kill you with your own Summoner's Pack.
I missed the trigger. We can still keep playing.
All right, 1 green mana. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, Veil of Summer. Draw a card if your opponent casts a blue or black spell, so we get to draw an extra card. And you and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and from black until the end of turn. So basically get 2 extra cards off of this interaction, and we're now protected to try to storm off here because we know our opponent can't really counter us. So there's the ritual, turning that 2 black mana into 3 black mana into a Necro Dominance, and now we're still at 20 life. We've played 2 Summoner Packs here, so there is a fetch response. What do we got to help us here? I mean, it's already on the battlefield, so it's like we can't necessarily fight over it. I was trying to think, it's like, I guess there's like abrupt decays and stuff, but we had to stop before going to the end step. But we're on the end step here. Oh, Consign! Replicated here. So even if there was like counter magic or something, because we're not targeting, like, we're targeting the trigger, right? Counter target triggered ability. So this is at the beginning of your end step. That's the trigger that's going to be going off. So it's not like we're targeting the effect. We've got a Pact of Negation here to get rid of 1, but we can't deal with the Replicate. Oh my god, just says, let me see that Underground Sea.
I was about to say, you want to give me a grand?
Yeah, and there's the handshake. Sultai Beans takes it there. A nice little fun match between these 2 players. But yeah, that's the fun stuff that we get to see here in Legacy and cool little interactions. We have a few more weeks left of the season before we cut to the top 8 for these players. So we'll be continuing to have quite a bit scheduled up for you all to be able to enjoy, whether it's more Beans action, some Felia, some Boros Energy, some Storm, lands, all kinds of fun stuff that is available to be able to watch up on Thursdays here. But yeah, now we get to see a little bit of a glimpse of what the sideboard cards from these players are and how they kind of set themselves up. I like this. Okay, so they double checked how Veil of Summer worked, but yeah, definitely bringing in a lot of the Veil of Summer to help in this, knowing that there's going to be a lot of Force of Wills, Force of Negations, things like that there. But
I didn't want to win anyway.
like, I didn't even want to win. Oh, I don't know. It's definitely a fun one. A little bit of lightheartedness here to kind of wrap up this week. But hope you guys enjoyed our Legacy coverage. Learning the Legacy format a little bit more with some cool, fun decks. Of course, all of our content is over on YouTube for you to be able to enjoy. So check all of the action out. We'll be back, of course, every Monday for Modern and Thursday for Legacy. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for tuning and watching, y'all. And I'll see you all next game.